Hope everyone's having a blessed week. So far, so good. Happy Tuesday. I always have to clean this lens. So today for Plant Feature Tuesday, I'm gonna go ahead and feature this beauty who just got a nice shower. She just got repotted and a good water. This is a Limelight Dracaena. I've had her going on, well, it's almost a year now. And she has grown quite a bit. She was in a 4-inch pot, and I just recently bumped her up. This is like a 5-inch pot. It's from IKEA. It says that it's a 4 point, I can't remember exactly the measurement, but it's actually like a 5-inch pot because I tried to put another plant in this pot. So just be wary, but it doesn't matter as long as you just bump it up a little bit. It's a slow grower. She has grown quite a bit, but the pot she was in, I got her at Walmart like for $5. And the water just constantly, the soil it just stayed, moist all the time. And Dracaenas like to dry out. So it's been like a month, I would not water her for a month and the soil would almost seem like it still was wet. So, I transferred her over into terracotta and I gave her some really good, a good, soil mixture, which I use for everybody, but you may not be watching all my videos, so I'll go ahead and go over what soil I use. A mixture of Espoma organic soil, potting soil, and I use a mixture of orchid bark, perlite, some sand, cactus mix, and orchid mix. I pretty much use that on everybody, to tell you the truth. All my plants except my sansevierias, I basically just use cactus mix and orchid mix with them, and a little bit of perlite, but I don't mix the Espoma potting soil. Maybe just a little tiny bit. I'll say maybe like a half a cup with the mixture, but that whole mixture is going to go in a lot of plants. But anyhow, so the Dracaena is actually related to the Sansevieria family and to the spider plant family as well, which Asparagaceae family. They're all together, and they're trying to name Sansevierias Dracaena. Now, I would never call a Sansevieria a Dracaena, or call a Dracaena Sansevieria. So I don't know where they came up with that idea, just because they're in the same family, but they are trying to call Sansevierias Dracaenas now. But anyhow, so for the care for her, bright and direct light, warm, keep it warm. They're cold tolerant. Humidity, I try, they can handle without humidity, but I do like to give it humidity every now and then. The leaves get dusty on this one, so I mist her. I'll give her a good misting, or I'll give her a good shower like I just did. I gave her a really good shower because her leaves do get kind of dusty. But all in all, this is an easy to care for plant. Only thing I would recommend is just don't overwater it. Any Dracaena, you don't want to overwater, because they do not like to be overwatered. And the water, they sometimes don't like the salts in the water. All my plants, I leave my water sitting out for a few days, and I use it. Every now and then I may see some, a little bit of black tips, because these ones do that. They'll give a little bit of black tips, but more in all, if you leave it to not water for too long, then you'll see the black tips also. And still provide a little bit of humidity, not much, just enough. And the way I do things is put bowls of water by them. It says that they don't like it, but I believe they do because they grow a little bit faster, and it keeps the flourish. So yeah, so bright and direct light. I have west windows, and I keep her pretty, little ways from the window. I don't have her sitting right by the window. I keep her a little ways from the window, but I do give her west facing windows. I give Job's fertilizer sticks for all my plants now. I have used other fertilizers, but it seems like the Job's slow release are working out for now for good. For me, it's not a permanent thing, but for now, that's what I use. So I told you about the good soil mix. The water, like I said, I leave my tap out for a few days. I know a lot of people say that doesn't work, but I do what I have to do, and they're all thriving. So I haven't seen any complaints yet. So I live in Sacramento, California. Once again, all these care tips are coming from Sacramento, California. That's the only way I know how to take care of this plant. So you may want to look into your geographical, your water, the temperature, the sunlight. I have west windows, but it is a building blocking my west window, so it is diffused light, but it is bright and direct light. As you see, this I'm facing my window's right there, and here's where the plant is. So this is considered bright and direct light. If you can see, if it's bright where you can see. Now, when you have it up against the window, that's direct sunlight. It will get direct sunlight during the day, but west windows generally just keep the whole room bright. But I'll do a video one day on light. I like to watch that because there's not too many videos on people. They'll tell you, like they say it, but they don't really show exactly. The one guy, he does it. He does a video on it, but anyhow, so yeah, that's the care I give for her. I just repotted her into a terracotta. She has grown quite a bit. She was pretty small. This is all new, and I'm sure now that she got repotted, and she's a really easy plant. Just don't overwater her. Give her some good light. Don't keep her in the dark. They say Dracaenas are low light plants. They say that about all plants, but actually a lot of plants, pretty much mostly all plants, are bright and direct light, except succulents and other plants like that. But most plants want bright and direct light, and especially during the summertime, try to give them as much. And then the winter, some of them go dormant, some of them they don't do much growing anyway, so it ain't really that too bad about the lighting. But as far as the summer goes, they're growing, they want that light, so give them as much light as you can. Don't put them right by the window, and don't give them direct sunlight, because they'll burn. I'm pretty sure these leaves will get burnt. But the bright and direct light, I think all plants really benefit from that. And then the water, like I said, water when it's pretty much 70% dry. I always use that method unless it's a Hoya or a Sansevieria. But most of the time with all my plants, I do about 75% down, except for the prayer plants and all them. That's a different story. But pretty with Dracaenas, with her, I swear I would not water her for a whole month. And she's very easy to take care of. I've had her in all kinds of different lights also, and she still keeps this bright, look. So if you do have a lower light situation, I'm pretty sure she would tolerate it. I don't know if she's going to grow much, but, bright and direct light is going to help any plant grow. And you could put, supplement. I was using, I'll probably get into that when I go over the lighting. I definitely am going to do a video on lighting, because there's videos out there, but a lot of them, they're using all these fancy type of lights, and when I show you what lights I used for the winter, you won't believe it. And I spent $10 for 4 bulbs of the lights. So I'll do a video on that another time. But for now, I'm pretty sure if you want to put a grow light over her, if you don't have, window space or whatnot, I'm sure she'll survive. But the key tips, once again, we'll go over is very well draining soil. A well draining soil means you're going to add some perlite, orchid mix, orchid bark, charcoal, you want it to pumice. Those are all things you add to regular soil. So if you have regular soil, add something to it, because a lot these plants don't want to be holding on to water that much. And when you have an airy soil, it soaks it up, it drains it. And bottom watering is good for these kind of plants as well. And then, repotting, I would repot once, once the roots look like they're, getting a little bit pot bound. But most of the time when you get Dracaenas, or when you get plants, sometimes it depends on the nursery, they're going to have it in a really peat moss, type of soil, sphagnum moss, whatever. Not peat moss, peat moss, or just with that soil that just holds on to water like mud, and it's just not good for any plants, actually, because their roots can't really breathe if they're being suffocated like that. But yeah, so bright and direct light, a little bit of humidity, give it a good shower, once a month, once every other month, keep the leaves clean. Water when it's 75% dry, bright and direct light, and you'll have a happy Dracaena. She hasn't given me any issues. Literally, I don't even remember ever having a yellow leaf on her. Like, she just minds her own business and does, So she did get repotted, and today she got to be. I went ahead and went over her care. That, like I said, in Sacramento, California, that's the care that I provide for her. But she's a doll. She's really pretty. Very underrated. I don't really, when I got her, I really couldn't find much information. Joy and Garden, I like her. She's on YouTube. I used to watch her all the time. I still do. But she has a video on the care of her. But yeah, so just, try to give her a little bit of humidity. Any tropical plant wants humidity. So even if it says they don't need it, they will like it. So, and let her water, let her dry out in between watering. Give her some bright and direct light. Give her an airy soil, and you'll have a good plant. A happy plant. Thank you so much for watching. Hope I was pretty informative about this video. And I appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate all the subscribers also. I really do appreciate that. So thank you so much. I'm hoping I'm very helpful in my videos. Thanks so much. I hope everyone has a blessed week. Bye.